So in today's quizzes, we're going to be talking about slope and slope formula. Just a reminder that we have in slope-intercept form this equation: y equals m x plus b. Okay, you see that m? I see how I put it in blue. M stands for slope. M equals slope, and there are several different ways that we can talk about slope. Okay, slope, or m, is also equal to rise over run. This is very important, especially when you have a graph. So whenever you have a graph that looks something like this with your x-axis and your y-axis, if you have a line that looks something like this, you go from your points. Let's say I have points, and I'm just going to make up something. Let's say I rise 1, 2, 3, 4. That means I'm going up 4, and then I'm going right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going right 5, so that's plus 5. Positive 4, positive 5. So rise over run, that would be rise. My rise would be 4. My run would be 5. So that means my slope would be a positive 4 over 5. And that's how you would do rise over run. Okay? All right. Remember, left to right, rise over run. Okay? Another one that we want to predominantly look at that we're going to be using on the quizzes today is what we call the slope formula. Okay? This is called the slope formula. And it is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Sorry, that's my alarm. Okay. So in this formula, what you need is you need points. At least 2 points. That's important. So as an example, let me show you. Let's say that I have 2 points. Let's say one point is 2, 7, and the other point is negative 4, 6. Okay, the first thing you want to do is label your points. Okay, that's important. Remember, we've done this before. Label your points. So I'm going to label this one x1, y1, and x2, y2. Using this formula, the slope formula that we have here derived, now I want to put them in place. M equals. Okay, y2 is 6. So we're going to say 6 minus 7 over negative 4 minus 2. Okay, you see what I did there? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 6 minus 7 is negative 1. Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. Negative over a negative is a positive, so this gives me a positive 1, 6. My slope would be 1 over 6. Okay? Notice how I set it up, right? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's the way that you guys should set it up right there. Okay? Make sure. Let me do another example. Let's say negative 3, negative 4, and 6, negative 8. Okay? Again, label your points. That's the most important piece. Okay? Let's say this one's x1, y1. This one's x2, y2. If I'm labeling my points correctly, it should be m equals y2, which is negative 8, minus y1, which is negative 4. Look what happened there. I want you to make sure you pay attention. Negative 8 minus negative 4. This minus doesn't go with the numbers. This minus is part of the formula that we have here. This just so happens y1 is negative 4. So remember that. Okay, then we have x2, which is 6, minus x1, which is negative 3. Okay, want to make sure that you pay attention to this. Look what's going to happen for these specific cases. This is negative 8 minus negative 4. This is why I always want to make sure I do a change. That's actually negative 8 plus 4, right? So that gives me negative 4. This is 6 minus negative 3. That's a change. That's actually 6 plus 3, so that's 9. So my negative over positive is negative, so my slope would be a negative 4 over 9. Okay? Now, The easiest thing for me to do is what I like to do is I always set up my slope formula. Okay, when I set it up, I always do this. M equals minus minus, no matter what. And then I kind of fill in the blanks. So this blank would be y2, this blank would be y1, this blank would be x2, this blank would be x1. Okay, that's what I always like to do, especially when I set up the slope formulas. Okay, make sure you set these up correctly. Make sure that you look at your slope. Okay, rise over run, remember. Also, I want to talk about Mr. Slope. Okay, you guys remember Mr. Slope? We're going to talk about him for a second. Just to help us out. There's Mr. Slope's face. Okay, this eyebrow right here is what we call the positive slope. This eyebrow right here is what we call negative slope. If it's a straight vertical line, this is what we call undefined slope. And if it's a straight horizontal line, this is what we call zero slope. So we have the four slopes. Okay, we have the one, which is positive. And we have the one that's negative. Then we have the one that's undefined. And we have the one that's zero. Okay, remember, some things that I want you to talk about is positive slope can be two things. Your slope can be a positive number over a positive number, or a negative number over a negative number. That's a good thing about positive slopes. Negative slopes, well, they're opposites. So if this is positive, that means the bottom's negative. Or if the top's negative, that means the bottom has to be positive. Undefined means when you have some number divided by zero, because we can't divide it by zero. That's why it's called undefined. And lastly, zero slope. This is when we have zero divided by a number. Okay, we're taking a number and we're dividing by zero. So if you're doing your slope formula and you get a situation like this, this will tell you positive, negative, undefined, or zero. So again, that's slope and slope formula. Real quick overview. Hopefully this helps. Please feel free to reach out to me if you need any other help. Have a good day.